It started with a deadbolt. I remember standing there on the front porch of my own vacation cabin, key in hand, groceries in the other, staring at a lock that didn't fit my key anymore. For a moment, I thought maybe I was at the wrong place. Same faded blue shutters, same squeaky screen door, same old carved wooden sign that read, "The Retreat," hanging above the deck. No mistake, this was definitely my cabin. The one I bought 7 years ago with the life savings I'd scraped together after leaving my toxic city job. The one I personally renovated every summer. The one that no one should have access to but me. But someone had changed the lock, and that's where this story of petty power, unbelievable entitlement, and one unhinged HOA president begins. Her name? Karen DeVille. Yes, seriously, you'd think the universe was writing parody scripts at this point. Karen wasn't just your average nosy neighbor. She was president of the Lakeside Pines Homeowners Association, a title she wielded like she was Queen of England with a clipboard. And when I bought a cabin on the edge of the community, but not within the HOA's jurisdiction, I unknowingly poked the dragon. Karen always hated that my place sat just outside the official HOA boundary. I didn't have to pay dues. I didn't have to ask permission to paint my deck. I didn't need architectural approval to install solar panels. And apparently, that just ate her alive. Over the years, she tried everything to get me to voluntarily join the HOA, offering discounts, threats, fake warnings taped to my door. I politely declined every time. That summer, I hadn't been up to the cabin for a couple months. Life back in the city had gotten busy, and my usual June visit got pushed to August. But I still paid for the security system, still had the place insured, and still owned every square inch of it, which made it all the more shocking when I discovered someone had rented it out while I was gone. Yeah, you read that right. After calling a locksmith and getting into my own home, I was immediately hit with the strong scent of lavender-scented cleaning spray and cinnamon rolls. My furniture had been rearranged. My welcome mat had been swapped for one that read, "Live, Laugh, Lake." There were fresh towels on the bathroom rack, and then I saw it. A clipboard on the kitchen counter labeled, "Lakeside Pines Cabin Rental, Guest Info Packet." I stood frozen. Was this real? Flipping through the packet, my stomach dropped. Someone had been operating my home like an Airbnb. There were calendar entries, check-in codes, house rules, even a laminated local guide with "Property Manager, Karen D." listed at the bottom in neat cursive. I was in the middle of trying to process this insanity when the front door opened behind me. In walked a family of 4, suitcases in hand, beach towels around their necks, sunscreen already applied. The mom screamed. The dad dropped the duffel bag. The teenage boy muttered, "Oh man, is this like a murder thing?" "Who are you?" the woman shrieked. I blinked. "I'm the owner of this house. Who are you?" Confusion turned to chaos. They thought I was squatting. I thought they were trespassing. Voices escalated until finally I pulled out my ID, property deed, photo from my phone, and had the dad call Karen directly from the number listed in the rental guide. She didn't answer. Not until an hour later when she finally showed up, wearing a pastel sweater over her shoulders and sunglasses too big for her face, like a villain from a reality TV show. She walked in smiling. "Oh, hello." I didn't know the new guests were arriving early, and then she saw me. That smile collapsed. "Elijah?" she choked out. "What are you doing here?" I stared her down. "I should be asking you the same question, Karen. Why the hell are there renters in my house?" What followed was the most insane, half-baked excuse I've ever heard in my life. Karen claimed that because I hadn't been using the property for several months, and since it was unmaintained, a lie, the HOA had assumed it was abandoned. She then said the community had repurposed the cabin for temporary housing during peak tourist season to support the local economy. She insisted that she meant to contact me, but couldn't find my number, even though my name, email, and mailing address were listed with the property tax office and printed on every county record. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Not only had she entered my property without permission, but she had also changed my locks, rented out my home, profited from it, and lied about it to strangers. I told the family that they were victims of fraud and politely asked them to leave. To their credit, they were apologetic and even offered to help me file a report. Karen, on the other hand, was still protesting, like this was a simple misunderstanding. It's not like you were using it, she snapped. We kept it spotless. You're overreacting. Oh no, Karen. I was just getting started. By sundown, I had called the sheriff, filed a police report for unlawful entry, illegal subletting, and property misrepresentation. Karen turned ghostly pale when they showed up and asked her to come in for questioning. The officers told me it might take a while to press charges, but I had a slam-dunk civil case on my hands. And they were right. A week later, I was sitting in a lawyer's office with documentation of over 3 months of bookings under Karen's name. She'd made nearly $14,000 renting out my cabin on various short-term rental platforms, all without a business license, lease, or legal right. To make matters worse for her, she'd listed the property under her personal LLC, meaning she was individually liable. Her defense? I was just trying to help the community. Yeah, by helping herself to someone else's house and pocketing the money. I filed a civil suit. She countersued for defamation because I had posted in a local Facebook group warning others about what happened. Her claim was dismissed immediately, mine wasn't. The court ruled in my favor. She was ordered to pay $22,000 in damages, which included lost personal property, lock changes, cleaning fees, and emotional distress. She was also fined by the county for operating an illegal rental business without registration. But the fallout didn't stop there. The Lakeside Pines HOA board, many of whom had no idea what Karen was doing, called an emergency meeting. She was removed from her position as president, stripped of voting rights, and banned from holding any leadership role within the HOA again. When word got out, the community reaction was explosive. Some residents defended her. She meant well, but most were furious. She'd made them look like accomplices. A few even sued her separately, claiming she'd used HOA funds to furnish her rental, which included several decorative items mysteriously missing from the community clubhouse. The best part? That Live, Laugh, Lake doormat was returned to the HOA office with a sticky note that said, "Not laughing now, are you?" I wish I could say that Karen disappeared after that, but she stuck around, her head held just high enough to keep pretending she was the victim. She passed me once at the general store, mumbled something about how people always twist things, and then left without making eye contact. As for me, I now have 2 hidden cameras, reinforced locks, and a brand new alarm system tied directly to the sheriff's office. I've visited the cabin more frequently since then, not because I don't trust the neighborhood, but because I've learned the hard way. Entitlement doesn't stop at the property line. Karen thought no one would notice, that no one would care, that her fake smile and HOA title gave her the right to step over the line. She was wrong. And the next time someone tries something like that again, they'll find out. I always keep a copy of the deed in my glove box.